Welcome, everybody. I'm Jude Trapani, founder of Zero Point Tai Chi, and I really like to display that behind me because it's a reminder for me about what Zero Point Tai Chi represents, and I'm excited to share some of that with you today. We were just talking about the energy of the spring, and what a wonderful time to um, practice Tai Chi and Qigong and learn more about it and let the harmony of the earth follow along to these cycles of um, how us as human beings can really relate to the natural world and be more in harmony with the natural world that allows us to be more in harmony with ourselves, our physical bodies, our mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So today we are going to do a little intro. Just a little housekeeping. Please use the chat, but I'd like to ask you to wait until about 45 minutes into the hour and save your questions for after we do some practice session activities. So the structure for today is I'm going to briefly talk to you, and then I'd like us to move into the practice session, and I'd like to share some things while we're moving. I don't really want to spend much time with you sitting in your chair and just listening to another person talk. So we'll move into that. I would like to stress stress. Yeah, I would like to stress stress relief. We'll do that a little bit. I'd also like to introduce my new 12-week program of Zoom group classes. And I'm really excited about this, especially with the weather getting better and being able to be outside and incorporate nature into the practice versus just being in a studio. I wish that I could be out there today, but logistically, it's a little challenging to do a webinar meeting like this outside. But we'll do the group classes as much as I can outside. So we'll do a practice session, maybe as long as a half an hour. I'd like to get as much time in, and then I'll talk a little bit more about um, the idea behind group classes, the 12-week program, why even come and do this in the first place? What are the benefits? And hopefully you'll discover that for yourself and in your own way. And then we'll have some time for questions toward the end, the last 10 minutes or so. I'd like to share with you just a snippet of my story and why this stuff resonates with me. When I was an active kid, but I didn't play organized sports. I was not a competitive person. I wasn't a go get 'em, from a young age. I was pretty reserved. And one real awakening I had in college was discovering philosophy beyond what I got from my Italian family and the culture in New York State in a big city, and I I I started to be a seeker, and I took a class on basics of martial arts in college. And the instructor was this little guy, and he had all of us stand up, and he held his arms out, and he was doing some Qigong exercises, which are totally new to me. and he was able to hold his arms up in the air for like 5 minutes, and the rest of us couldn't do it very long, and we dropped our arms. And I've told some of you that are on this story in the past, and it was quite profound because we all thought we were strong, 18, 19-year olds, and this guy was just amazing what he could do. And it just, it sent me on the path to discovery. And I started studying Tai Chi in 1990 and attended a series of classes and learned the Tai Chi form and practiced it. And then I got asked to teach Tai Chi because I moved to a little town in Idaho in the States, and no one knew Tai Chi, but there were a number of people that were curious about it. So I started offering classes, and there's nothing like teaching something to really learn it. And I thought that I was starting to understand things. And then I met my teacher, my current teacher, Master Henry Wong, in 2000. And I went to this 2-day workshop with a friend that was his student at the time. And we did Tai Chi, and all that's fine. But then at the end, he had this little private group that I got asked to be a part of. And he had this 300-pound guy hold his pinkies, and he basically blew him across the room with his chi power, with his energy, without moving. And I thought, oh my gosh, the stuff that I've read about is real. This guy can do it, And the interesting thing about that is uh, this stuff is not well known, and there's not many people that teach the details of how to do this. It's like this elusive thing that a whole bunch of Tai Chi practitioners are looking to grasp. And there's very few people that want to teach about the Chi power. It's not easy to instruct on. And so, who cares? Really, what are the benefits of it? And so I've been seeking what these benefits are, and this is what I like to teach and share with you all. So we'll go through a little bit of that today. And I'd like to do that while we're active. So I'm just thinking through if there's other things that I want to share with you while we're chilling here on Sunday. And I will do this while we're moving and practicing. So if you, oh yes, there is one thing that I will touch a little bit more on my new 12-week program, and the I'm excited about this because I really want to share how to connect with nature. And I really love to share the Tai Chi basics, Qigong, healing, stress reduction, how to feel good. But then there's this whole other component of the earth that most of us in the Western world don't pay attention to. And this is what I'd like to integrate into things. So we'll do that. And so we're going to set the stage in the studio today. And for all of you, and we'll put some good energy in our tea. And I'd like to bring in this peace and abundance consciousness into what we're doing today. And for the rest of the year, watch it bloom and blossom. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras and stand up. And I invite you to join me. Again, thanks for joining me. Okay, so let's start with the breath. Let's start with the breath, as we almost always do. So join me, feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. If you want to just sit down and watch, that's okay too. Okay, so the basics of all this brings us the platform for health and well-being. So I often start with my breathing techniques, having one hand on my dantian, so I kind of put my thumb in my belly button and put my hand below it, and I put my other hand on my heart chakra, and you can switch. You know, like a lot of things that I'll help you work through, I want you to feel for yourself. Don't trust my instruction as the way things have to go. Use your own intuition and feeling. Okay, so in and out the nose, into the belly. So we're going to relax the belly. So I invite you to start to soften yourself. So we're going to work a little bit on some calisthenics and activities that are more physically oriented, but we're going to start with this, bringing in this softer consciousness. We're going to let go of the mind, the monkey mind, and we're going to go into the mind-heart coherence. The Heart Math Institute talks about this extensively and the benefits that they found in their research from it. We're going to breathe by relaxing the belly. Exhale. And like I like to say, on the beach, nobody wants to have a belly, but in Tai Chi, it's really important to have a soft, relaxed belly. So then there's the two-part breath. So I invite you to feel, you can relax your hands if you'd like. You can feel the abdomen fill with air, and I invite you to fill your upper back. So take a breath, a big breath. Inhale and release. So you're feeling the upper ribs expand. So you fill your torso with air. Sometimes I exhale out my mouth. I do a little house cleaning, a little spring cleaning. And release. Again, inhale. And release. Good, good. So I've heard this concept of conscious breathing, and it really resonates with me because it sets the foundation for the why do we do this. So the conscious breathing is bringing our attention back into a more expanded view of who we are and why we're here. So with the breath, this world, it gets opened up to us. And just like the classic Tai Chi and Qigong instruction talks about, the internal energy starts to become apparent to us. And so I invite you to continue with the breath. So let's inhale this time. We're going to bring our shoulders up. We're going to squeeze and we're going to let go. We're going to inhale. We're going to squeeze and we're going to let go. Okay, this time squeeze your feet, legs, take that breath, squeeze your butt muscles, your back, your shoulders, your face, and then let go. Okay, one more time. So inhale and release. Okay, so one of the reasons why I really like to bring in this relaxation is that what I found is the tension that we hold, and most of the time we don't even know we're holding it. It is the block to expressing our full self in a happy and healthy way. And so I found that I spent a lot of time learning techniques on how to do it. And then I realized that I pretty much knew how to do it intuitively, but I had all this junk on top of me in my mind and my programs and my belief systems that was actually blocking this free flow of energy and consciousness and awareness and thoughts that I had that really were beneficial to my life. So continue to breathe. And I want to just weave in these concepts as we are working on ourselves. So the next stage I'd like you to do is to bring in this feeling of release. And we'll move into this internal arts and chi flow and energy awareness. And we'll start by feeling like we're the coat on the coat hanger. So I'd like you to let your arms go. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your face. Relax your scalp. Okay, and then there's this little trick that you can let go of your legs with your knees slightly bent, and you start to feel like you're hanging, you're suspended. So your spine is being held up like with a rope coming through off the top of your head, and you can just let go of the rest of your body. Then breathe in and out the nose. Soften yourself. And we'll touch a little bit more on why this feeling is important. Breathe and feel this release. Let go of the legs. See if you can relax your hips, your lower back a little bit more. Breathe. This is the foundation of opening up the energy flow. And there's many people that do what's called standing meditation, and I've done that myself quite a bit, and I find that it's not about letting my mind just watch thoughts go by. It's about this awareness of this softness, this release into the earth, the slight sigh to the chest, a deep breath, and it puts one in the 0 point field, the 0 point consciousness. It's the zone. So we're practicing. Just like my wife got trained in college on the crew team to be a rower, they spent probably a third of their time just visualizing rowing. So we're just doing that. We're visualizing the release, the softness. Yeah. So why do this? Well, let's talk just briefly about that, as I invite you to just pick your arms up here and then slowly let them come back down. Good. So we want to feel this energy go down our legs, and it kind of opens our wings up, and then we exhale and come back down. So we have our face relaxed, and we're doing these basics. We're starting out with this flow and release. Good. One more time. Inhale and release. Good. Good. So as you continue to breathe, I'd like you to feel this relaxing awareness that you're nurturing yourself. So today, you're safe, you're well taken care of, you're investing in yourself, and you're soft. Okay, before we go into the little more active work, I'd like you to imagine taking the backpack off, the backpack of responsibilities, and we're going to set it over there in the corner. It'll be there. It'll be there, and you don't need to worry about that stuff right now. And so this is the place where your own harmony awakens. And so you can read about this, you can watch stuff on TV, videos, but I find that there's nothing like doing it. So let's continue. So I invite you to, if you're able to, just start to pick up the bucket and side to side, and we're gonna open our ribs up, and we're gonna feel the flow. And I find that when you can do this physically, when you can start to unblock yourself physically, and you have that awareness that that's what you're doing, it's easier to release that stuff, and it's easier to relax your mental mind. It's easier to let go of emotional stress and trauma, and it's easier for your spiritual pursuits if you have those. Good, good. Okay. So let's do this quickly. So I'd like you to get your energy flowing a little bit. So I like this because I use it to ground at the same time. I know you can pull your leg up, and some of you may be really strong and fit, and we're not going to push ourselves to our physical exertion point in these sessions. The idea is that if you like doing that, there's other activities that do that, but this is a way to be connected more with your greater self, your energetic self. So we're setting the stage to get there. Okay, we're going to climb the rope. So these activities, I'd like to invite you to feel. I know you can lift your hands up in the air, but I'd like you to relax your lower back, relax your butt, relax your leg muscles, relax your face, and really feel this flow. I think I could do this like every day, and I have a different feeling for it. It like my energy is different, and it doesn't get old because it just feels good. Okay, relax. Come back down. Now, if any of these are a little bit challenging to you, don't push yourself. Be good to your body. Okay, so let's continue. So bring your hands behind you if you can. And I'd like you to do some raises up on your, lift your heel, and we're going to exercise our calf muscles. And we're going to do it by holding our arms back and pulling our shoulders back, and we're going to look up. Okay, and this is a way to challenge ourselves to be more aware of our body and our balance. And so you can hold it. See if you can hold it. So you're up in the air and you're balancing on your toes. You're balancing on the ball of your foot. Good. Good. So when we're in class, we do a little bit more of this, a little more detail, but we don't have time. We could do 2-3 hour sessions actually, but you know, we're limited on time in these little sessions. So as we continue, I'd like to challenge you a little bit. So if you're able to stretch yourself and come down, you know, we can do some like quad muscle exercises. I like to do these kind of like skiing, you know, these skiing exercises. And then if you can, one thing I like to do is work on our flexibility. So I really like to have my pelvis flexible. You know, in class, we work on some ways to really build your flexibility. But I'd invite you, if you can, to stand up and bloom like a flower. Open up. And if you can take these home with you for your own practice, I think that'd be pretty cool. If you want to warm yourself up when you're cold, this is a great one. Good, thank you. Okay, let's roll our shoulders a little bit. And the other way. Yeah. So while we're doing this, so come back to the breath. Stand feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. Relax. As we open up our physical body flow, it's then that much easier to be flexible mentally and emotionally. That's what I've found. So if I can do it all in one, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, I just resonate with that a lot. Maybe that resonates with you. And that's what this practice really does. It's quite amazing because at the end of the hour of these classes that we do, everybody just goes, oh my gosh, I feel better. Okay, so Qigong exercises. So Qigong is, it's kind of like stationary or pieces of the Tai Chi form. One of the famous ones is to stand like this and hold your arms out and relax here. But I find that this one is difficult to do. So I don't instruct much on it and I don't use it much as a tool. The one I do really like is for you to stand feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, tuck your butt under a little bit to straighten your spine, feel pulled up. In other words, stand proud. And as you inhale, bring your arms out and around a big ball, and then drop your elbows and come back down to the center. Inhale and come up and come back down to the center. And so the natural world gets incorporated into this very thing. Release. So picture, here we are in the spring. So on the inhale, the blooming expansion of nature, spring, summer, and then release, fall, winter. So where are we in this cycle? So we bring it all together because the benefits of that circle are really important for us. Inhale softly and then exhale, release. Good. Good. Again, inhale. So the magic of this is that by just doing it, you start to forget about the stuff that builds stress and tension, and you start to let it go. And then you don't even have to try. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. And then at the end, oh, wow, I feel better. So let me just say this as you continue to stand and breathe for a minute. There's other options, right? One of the ways that we get rid of our stress, and I've done it myself a lot, is that I do physical exertion till I'm exhausted. So I used to go ride my bicycle at the end of a stressful day, and I would just be so tired. I would eat supper and go to bed, and I would feel this release. Ugh. But there's other ways of doing it that aren't so hard on your body. Another thing is the yoga poses and some of the Tai Chi and Qigong that you may have seen, where there's lots of beautiful aerial displays of how to move your hands. But most of these are what my teacher calls empty force. So what I found, and you may try this for yourself and you feel it. So when you get in a horse stance and do these Tai Chi and Qigong movements that are just parts moving, they're not connected to your energy system. They look cool and they build your muscles, but they really don't do this energy flow. So what? Well, the energy flow exercises to me have shown me the key to the health and wellness. Even though the physical body can be, and I do this to enhance my physical body, when I really want to get into my wellness program, it's with the energy cultivation. And this is what I really like to teach on. Okay, so let's continue. So we'll scoop the hands up here and just release them down. Okay, we'll inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale down. So we're mimicking the breath, and I'll turn at different angles so you can see me. So the breath comes up and the breath goes down. Now, as we do this, we don't raise our shoulders at all. We don't want to walk around like this, like I'm relaxed, you know. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Inhale and release. Good. Keep going. So another thing I'd like to share with you about this concept of incorporating the natural world into it is, picture doing this and we're down by the river and you can see me down by the river and you can tune in, even though it's Zoom, even though it's video call, you can still feel the energy of nature, especially the river. Rivers and waterways hold amazing amounts of energy. Man, if I'm not feeling well, I can go down to the river and it's got such healing properties. and I can get into this energetic expansion, and my body really opens up. So this is a segue into, I'll just briefly touch on the nervous system and the two different functions of it. So this is a little bit a generalization, but I want to share the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system with you. And there's been lots of research done on this. And so the sympathetic nervous system operating program is the one in general that's the one that we use when we're stressed. So when something stresses us out, we go into this contraction and we put this blood chemistry soup going with adrenaline and cortisol, and we really get ready to, the fight or flight thing. In contrast, the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that operates when you're calm and relaxed and all your needs are taken care of. So continue to breathe and do this up and down motion. This can really help. So pull the energy from the earth. Inhale and release it back down. So we're talking philosophy, but we're moving our energy at the same time. So what we want to be doing is moving into the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm, relaxed one, the one where all our cellular function comes back to normal. It doesn't have to be put on hold. It's kind of like when you're in the sympathetic, stressed out one, your body doesn't even digest food all that well because it's worried about getting all its blood flow and energy into your muscles because it's getting ready to run. And here we are living in a world with chronic stress, and you all have understood a lot about this from reading things, but so much material. But you can't, in my view, you can't get rid of the stress just by thinking about it, talking to your friends about it. If you have this is kind of, to me, the advanced stage of the therapy is to integrate all these activities, the mental and emotional clearing along with the physical movement. I'm going to take a breath here and get a drink. Another thing we're going to do is to work with the energy of water. And here's just a simple thing of putting loving, supportive energy into the water. Like Dr. Emoto showed, the crystalline structure can change with your intention. And I want to have the most loving, harmonious water that I can put in my body. So I do my own little transfiguration of it, my own alchemy. Drink lots of water, it helps you. Okay, as usual, we're burning through our time. Okay, before we go out of our practice session, let's rub our hands together. We're going to do a little healing for ourselves. Nice puffy hands full of energy, and we're going to rub our face. There's lots of acupuncture points here. We're going to bring ourselves back into balance and do this in a nurturing, loving way. This isn't something to force. It's your time. This is your time, your wellness time. Your time to center and balance and regain who you really are. That soft, confident, caring person. Okay, we'll rub our ears. Good. Good. We'll rub our arms. Good. One thing that I haven't talked about yet is my passion for healthcare workers of any and healers of any kind. The world is so fortunate to have healers and caregivers. And this is part of my passion to share with you on how caregivers who often ignore their own needs can find some kind of practices that keep their reservoir full so they can continue to do all the wonderful things that they've done. And that's one of the things that I talked about in the webinar material is I want to gift you all with some things that hopefully resonate with you and help you do all that you do better. This is my way. So as I explain that, let's turn around and rub our kidneys a little bit. Yeah, so rather than like the Italian people that or lots of people in New York City during the pandemic, they were doing daily cheers for healthcare workers working so hard during the pandemic. This is like my little way of cheering everybody on that does healthcare and healing for others. Again, this is done in a loving, nurturing way. Yeah, wow. So you can see that my Tai Chi, and I like to go into this. My Tai Chi is not martial arts. I don't teach martial arts. I've done martial arts, and it's not what resonates with me. What resonates is to help people find the 0 point field with the soft mind, the relaxed way to be, move back in the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, thank you. I'll talk briefly. I think I'll still stand. I love to go back and forth between my two cameras. If you'd like, you can continue to stand up and do your standing meditation. Do these simple Qigong exercises while I say this last little bit. So what makes my classes different is that this isn't just a follow along, put your hand here, do this, and in 20 years, you'll finally get it. I like to bring this energy consciousness right away. I don't feel like I feel like it's a disservice to withhold the true essence of the benefits of Tai Chi, Qigong, and Taoism. Why? It doesn't matter if somebody's quote unquote ready. I think we're all able to grasp these concepts in some way, shape, or form, and I love to share the stuff right away. Another thing that I do is I use my intuitive abilities to understand where people need healing, where the energy is stuck. And I'm able most of the time to coach people into doing things that help release those stuck places. Just the other day, I did a class, actually yesterday I did a class, and one of the women in the class had a question about some block that she had, and I was able to tune in and give her some kind of intuitive healer insight into what was going on. And it was more of an emotional and mental aspect that was blocking her physical body. And she said, you know, yeah, I've been feeling that. And so how can I work on that? So we walked through a couple things, and you know, that this is what I love to do too, is use my ability to help people understand their nuances and their personal experiences. And this is what's nice about doing the Zoom calls, is that when we're all live together and I can see people on the camera, I can read their field most of the time and understand what's going on in their bodies. And so you can say it's customized a little bit. So it's more than just follow along a video and maybe someday you'll learn this and good luck. I have a real, I have lots of, I really like to help people as customized as possible. I'm looking for Brianne's insight if I missed something. I'd like to tell you now about my 12-week program. There's some information on the website, and I'm moving away from monthly group classes into a 12-week program. I really feel that it's helping people to have more consistency and better results. It's a little bit more of a personal commitment, and it's a place like once a week where we could come gather, feel safe and exercise and get in the zone and open up these energy centers and really expand who we are when we feel better. Oh, yeah. Wow. I felt like I worked out a little bit, meditated a little bit, got my breathing going, got my healing going, got my body's own ability to be in harmony and have health and wellness. And wow, there's lots of different exercises and techniques. You know, it takes time to go through a bunch of these and to really understand how to do them well. Another aspect that's different is I spent 30 years as a fishery biologist for the government, and my specialty is river restoration with salmon and trout. And I've lived in the Western US for most of my adult life, and I love nature and I love restoring rivers. It's my passion. And I was amazed at the parallels between my biology work and Tai Chi and Qigong and Taoism. And to me, they are one. And so I am very excited to share my knowledge of nature and all the ways that I can understand the energy of nature and bring it into this Tai Chi and Qigong and wellness practice. And I think it's very unique. And I love to open up people's awareness of way more than we thought possible. Our human experience can be way more abundant, way more satisfying and fulfilling, much more healthy, way more energy to live our passions. And so this is kind of like the mission statement of this 12-week program and what I want to continue to instruct on in the future. Okay, with that, I'm going to go back to my other camera, and I'll take some questions and discussion if you want to put those in the chat. If my Zoom will come back on. There. So if you want to know more about the program, Brianne put the link in the chat that you can find a way to get there. So thanks so much for practicing with me a little bit today. If you want to ask some questions, feel free. While we're waiting, one thing that's been a theme lately for me, thanks, Kate. One thing that I bring through is clearing your chakras. And so I also bring through, I'm very much focused on metaphysics and multidimensional reality in my life. And so I bring in some of that. It's a whole universe in itself. So can't do it all at once. But one thing that I found over the past year is that the heart chakra is a really important aspect of our existence here as human beings. And the back of the heart chakra is often closed off. And so one thing that we do in class to breathe through that and open up that aspect. Thanks, Maggie. Is to, let me say this. When I open up my heart chakra from the front, my awareness is here. And so I feel like I can protect my heart center with my physical body and my intention. But when it comes to the backside, I feel very vulnerable. And so what I do for myself is I put myself in this consciousness of feeling safe. So I put my energy around me, I get in my ball of light, and I can open up the back of my heart chakra confidently that I'm not going to be picking up on any negative energy or any yucky stuff. And when I can let it breathe, when I can let the back of my heart chakra open up and express itself without being shut down because I'm scared and stressed over even the smallest thing in life. Like, oh, do I have enough abundance? Oh, do I have enough security? Oh, is the world going to implode? Oh, are my friends and family going to be okay? Is this leader going to lead us in a good way? All these things that we don't even realize a lot of times that we're running through this fear program. What happens when we can just go, oh, wow, okay? And then you can let that back of the heart chakra release and relax and build in this balance and centeredness through stuff like that. I get really excited about the knowledge of that and the opportunity. Any other questions? Feel free to check out the description of the 12-week program. If it resonates with you, I would love to work together. We only scratched the surface. There's so much to this, and I'm really passionate about sharing it. So somebody wrote in that, Nan wrote in that they're concerned about the 12 weeks straight, and the recordings are, so I record every class, and then you can, if you miss class, you can do the recording. So I really like that about Zoom, because I did lots of instruction live, and if you missed class, you missed class, and with the video conferencing, then you can just watch it at your convenience, and you can watch them multiple times. This could be a daily practice. Just put it on every morning and just keep going. It doesn't have to be once a week. I encourage you to do that. So if you live near me in Hamilton, Montana, I think it would be okay to join me on the river. I plan to do as many classes outside. And so I think there's an opportunity to meet outside, and I could just do class, and whether you're on the camera or standing behind my camera, outside hanging out, enjoying class, I think that would be fine. I think that would be really fun. I'm also considering doing a couple-day retreat this summer. Depends on COVID and all the restrictions and things, but I would love to do more of this Tai Chi and nature integration, and especially live, and to do individual or group retreats. I'm looking forward to doing that stuff. I love to take people on the river, on a raft, float down, get out if it's warm enough, go swimming a little bit, and help me, or have me help you discover the natural world that you may not even know exists, and how to really incorporate it into your health and wellness. I'm looking at a question here. The first course. Yeah, so to be clear, I'm comfortable in the 12-week program. If people want to go to the park where I'm filming the weekly class, they are welcome to come and join me live. If you live in another part of the country or wherever that you can't physically make it to the class, that's the Zoom opportunity is there for everybody. But yes, to be clear, you can come and join me when I do it in the park. If it's pouring rain, I'll probably do it in the studio here, and then we'll just have to, postpone the in-person thing. Any other questions? I will, if people want to join live, I think that I haven't thought about the logistics of that. Brienne was asking me. It will be in the park near Hamilton, Montana, and so if you sign up for class, then we can reach out to the people who have signed up for the 12-week program, and make the simple announcement of where I'll be and how to join me live if that is an option for you. It may be an option for a couple people. Um, I'm assuming that most people will be out of the area, but we sure can let people know uh, soon once the signups happen and how to attend live. What else? Kind of quiet. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up here. We went a little bit over. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you take this soft consciousness throughout the day with you and stay happy and healthy and enjoy everything you do. And I look forward to working together sometime soon. Thank you.